Russia launched an exhibition on Wednesday, showcasing more than 30 military vehicles it's captured from Ukraine since the invasion began, in an open-air trophy display gloating over its seized NATO equipment. The exhibition was packed with visitors on opening day, which coincides with Russia's International Workers' Day. It is being held for a month at Moscow's Victory Park, the capital's large memorial complex dedicated to the Soviet Union's triumph over Nazi Germany. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov called the exhibition a brilliant idea. The exhibition of trophy equipment will attract great interest from Moscow residents, guests of our city, and all residents of the country, Peskov said. We should all see the enemy's battered equipment. The trophies of the Russian army. Exhibitions show equipment from over a dozen countries, giving a glimpse of the sheer diversity of weaponry used by Ukraine's forces since 2022. Not all of them were recently obtained. Some vehicles, including American-made ones, were already displayed in an earlier exhibition in August. A special focus of the exhibition was an M1 Abrams battle tank, a heavy tank buster with a track record of punching through Soviet armor. Reuters reported that the wrecked Abrams tank has been a favorite for Russian state media. Ukraine received 31 of these from the Pentagon, 5 of which were lost in battle. The U.S. on April 26 said Ukraine is withdrawing its Abrams tanks from the front lines over concerns that they were being undermined by drone attacks. Russian surveillance drones can spot the prized armor more easily and make the tanks more difficult to protect. Russia also displayed an American M2 Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. Ukraine was given 186 Bradleys, along with 4 Bradley Fire Support Team vehicles, about 100 to 120 of which are actively deployed in operations. The Bradley has the ability to take out Russian tanks. In one battle, a Bradley took out 2 Russian T-72 tanks with its heavy TOW anti-tank missiles. The vehicle has been dubbed a tank killer as a result. Around 63 Bradleys were captured or damaged by October 2023, though some have been repaired and returned to service, per Dutch open-source outlet Oryx. Other U.S. equipment showcased included a Humvee, with a Slovenian TAM 150 in the background. The U.S. has delivered some 1,700 high-mobility, multi-purpose wheeled vehicles to Ukraine since the war began. An M88 recovery vehicle. Ukraine has since early 2023 been given M88 recovery vehicles to haul damaged tanks and heavy-duty weaponry off the battlefield, and an International Max Pro, a hefty mine-resistant armor-protected vehicle. The Max Pro armor has been lauded by Ukrainian troops, who they say it can easily withstand heavy Russian fire. In late 2023, Ukraine was reported to have been using the vehicles in direct assaults on Russian positions. Russia also showed off an M777 howitzer, a prominent artillery piece used widely on the Ukrainian front. Kyiv says the towed artillery units have been key to staving off the Russian advance, but a lack of ammunition in recent months has severely affected the weapon's effectiveness on the battlefield. Another highlight of the exhibition was a German Leopard 2A6 tank. Germany agreed in early 2023 to allow a European coalition to send 88 Leopard 1 tanks and about 80 advanced Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine. Leopard 1 tanks are Cold War-era tanks that Germany stopped using in 2000. while Leopard 2s are believed to be among some of the most advanced tanks used in the war by Ukraine. A captured Marder, a German-made infantry fighting vehicle, was also put on display. The Marder has been in service since 1971. It was notably used by Ukrainian forces to breach Russian lines and defenses during their counteroffensive. Vehicles from the UK were also featured, like the Husky. Some of the vehicles can be seen displayed with a NATO symbol. Russia continues to amplify its rhetoric that NATO's supplying of weapons to Ukraine essentially constitutes a war between the treaty organization and Moscow. A Saxon AT-105. Dubbed the Battle Taxi, the Saxon is a 4x4 vehicle that's low-cost and armored. Ukraine has been using these since before the start of the war. And the Mastiff, a heavily armored 6-wheel drive vehicle that can typically carry 8 troops. The Mastiff counts among the 120 armored vehicles first sent by the UK to Ukraine in 2022. The trophy exhibition also showed a Turkish Kirpi. The Turkish-made MRAP is an armored troop carrier, and 50 of them have been delivered to Ukraine. A Swedish Combat Vehicle 90. Sweden donated 50 of these armored fighting vehicles to Ukraine when the war began. A Finnish Patriapasi armored personnel carrier. It's not immediately clear how many of these are deployed by Ukraine, but around 10 of them have been reported to be lost in combat in Ukraine, per Oryx. And the lightweight French AMX-10RC fighting vehicle. AMX-10RCs are generally considered armored reconnaissance vehicles, not tanks. Non-NATO weapons were also on display, like this Australian Bushmaster protected mobility vehicle. Check BMP-2. The BMP-2 is a Soviet amphibious infantry fighting vehicle that was typically produced in the 1980s. And South African Mamba 4x4 armored personnel carriers. At least 7 of these vehicles were donated to Ukraine by Estonia in 2022. An array of smaller arms from countries like Bulgaria, Israel, and Czechia were also spotted at the exhibition. Russia showed off everything from mines to grenades to scopes at the Victory Park exhibition. Russia has long sought to portray the war in Ukraine as a battle against NATO itself, and it's telling that the exhibition is being held at Victory Park, which commemorates World War II.